You ever get that feeling that you've just made a huge mistake, but it's already too late to fix it? I was just trying to get home from a party. Not drunk, not high, just tired. But I ended up somewhere I can't explain. A place that didn't exist on any map. And the strangest part, my phone stopped working the moment I got in the car. This is the story of a ride I was never supposed to take. This happened in December 2021, in a small town outside Manchester. I'd gone to a friend's house party for Christmas break. Around 1:30 a.m. I decided to head home. Didn't drink much, just wanted to get some sleep before work the next day. I ordered an Uber like I always do. Got matched with a driver named Alex. 4.8 stars, red Honda Civic. The car pulled up right outside, everything seemed normal. But the moment I stepped inside, I felt it wrong. Like walking into a room just after someone died. The driver greeted me with a quiet, deep voice. "Heading home, yeah?" I nodded. We started moving. But less than a minute into the ride, I noticed something odd. There was no scent in the car. Nothing. No air freshener, no must, not even the usual car smell. It felt sterile. I pulled out my phone to check the app, to watch the live GPS tracking like I usually do, but it had closed. I tapped to reopen Uber. It wouldn't load. Then I tried Google Maps. Nothing. No signal. I thought maybe the town had a dead zone or something. But my gut kept whispering, this isn't right. About 10 minutes in, I realized we weren't on any familiar road. I knew the way home. Same route every time. I leaned forward and said, "Hey, this isn't the way to the A6. Are you taking a detour?" No response. Just the faint sound of tires rolling on gravel. I looked out. We were on a narrow road, no street lights, no signs, just trees. Then he spoke. I thought we'd try a shortcut. GPS is down anyway. But the way he said it, he wasn't asking for approval. He was informing me. I checked my location again. Blank, not no signal. Just blank. Even the time was frozen at 1:42 a.m. Then I saw something outside. A building in the distance. Looked like a boarded-up rest stop or diner. Lights were flickering. The driver slowed the car. I asked, "Why are we stopping here?" He paused for a moment. Then said, "I thought you might be hungry." I hadn't said a word about food. The party didn't even have snacks. "I'm good," I said firmly. "Please take me home." He stared at me through the rearview mirror for a second too long, then put the car back in drive. We kept driving, but things started to feel repetitive. The same trees, the same road signs. It felt like we were circling. Then the same building appeared again. Same flickering lights, same half-torn sign. I said, "Wait, didn't we pass this already?" The driver didn't answer. I reached for my phone again. Still frozen. Battery 3%, time 1:42 a.m. Still. I started to panic. Quietly, internally. The ride timer in my head had long passed 20 minutes. I whispered, "Please, just let me out." Without a word, he pulled over. Not on a road, just dirt. I stepped out fast, looking around. No lights, no cars, just forest. Then, my phone restarted on its own. Everything came back, signal, time, battery, 17 a.m. I'd been gone almost 40 minutes. When I turned around, the car was gone. No headlights, no sound of an engine, just gone. I walked toward the distant sound of the highway, eventually called a friend to pick me up. When I checked my ride history, nothing. No trip, no Alex. No record. Uber told me they had no driver in that area matching that name or car. I wasn't charged. No trace. As if the car never existed. Engagement CTA, 14 ma. What do you think happened that night? Was it a rogue driver with bad intentions? Or something else entirely? Let me know what you'd do if this happened to you. And if you've had a similar experience, I want to hear it. Like, share, and subscribe for more true horror stories every week. And remember, double check your ride before it's too late.
Have you ever gotten into an Uber and then realized something was deeply wrong? What if your driver knew things about you they shouldn't? What if there was no record of the trip afterward? This is a story about a late-night Uber ride that I might not have made it out of. And to this day, no one, not even Uber, has any idea who the driver was. This happened in 2022 in Liverpool, UK. I was 23, working late shifts at a bar. It was a normal Thursday night, slow, rainy, and quiet. I finished at around 2:30 a.m. and, as usual, pulled up my Uber app. My usual route was 12 minutes home. I requested a ride and got a ping almost instantly. Driver Mark, 4.9 stars, silver Toyota Prius. Nothing seemed off at first. But that ride, from the moment I got in, felt like stepping into something I was never supposed to be part of. I remember clearly, the car pulls up. Same model, same license plate. I get in the back seat, say hey, and buckle up. But the driver doesn't respond. Just gives me a slight nod and pulls off into the dark. What struck me was the smell. It wasn't foul, just cold, like concrete and wet metal. The kind of smell you'd expect in a basement. I opened the Uber app to double-check the route, but the live tracking was frozen. It just showed we were still parked outside the bar. I figured it was just bad signal. I wasn't overly worried, yet. About 5 minutes in, the driver finally spoke. "You always finish around this time?" That sentence made my skin crawl. I'd never said where I worked or my hours, and I always used different drivers. Trying to stay calm, I replied, "Yeah, usually." "Do you drive around here a lot?" He chuckled, but didn't answer. Just said, "You should be more careful." We passed a left turn I always took on the way home. I asked, "Aren't we going the wrong way?" His tone got flat. "I know where I'm taking you." I unlocked my phone. Still no GPS movement. The car's headlights were now the only source of light on the narrow back roads. I texted a friend, in Uber. "Going wrong way." No signal, 0 bars. I looked up and saw we were passing a field. An abandoned warehouse loomed ahead. Then he slowed down. Pulled off the road and turned the engine off. Silence. "You can get out now," he said. Calm, almost bored. I stayed frozen. "We're here." I asked, "Where?" He turned in his seat, finally facing me fully. His face was pale, but it was his eyes that got me, blank, emotionless, like looking into glass. He said, "This is where you would have ended up if you hadn't paid attention." I reached for the door handle. It was locked. He stared at me for a second, then unlocked the door. I got out without looking back and ran until I hit the road again. No cars, just night and mist. Eventually I got signal, called a friend, and they picked me up. The next day I checked my Uber app. No record of any ride, no mark, no receipt, no payment taken. I contacted Uber support. They checked everything. My account, trip history, server logs, nothing. It was like that ride never existed. Even my texts to my friend weren't sent. Only the timestamp. Draft saved 2:41 a.m. There are a few theories I've heard. A hacker using a spoofed Uber interface. A local creep pretending to be an Uber. Something paranormal. A glitch, a near miss with something worse. I've never seen that driver again. But now, I always double-check everything. Car plate, driver photo, and even make a fake call when I get in. Because I don't think I was supposed to survive.